war between Israel and Hamas has entered its 9th day, a day after the Israel military ordered hundreds of thousands of civilians living in Gaza City to evacuate ahead of an unexpected Israel ground offensive against Hamas. The military has said that it is seeing a significant movement of civilians in southern Palestine. The war has so far claimed at least 3,200 lives since it began last Saturday. NewsX is now bringing you an exclusive ground report from the war zone. My colleague Akshit is in Israel, covering the ground reality there.
We are currently standing in Tel Aviv at one of the most famous points, perhaps one of the most famous locations. And what used to be very lively, what used to be very, full of people, full of hustle and bustle, is now, a bit more quiet because as we also show you the visuals also, it's one of the most famous beaches of the Tel Aviv, of course the central of the country, and there are now very few people here. There are very less people here because of the most deadliest decades long conflict which has been taking place in Israel after an unprecedented attack by the Hamas militants, because now the war between Israel and Hamas has entered its ninth day. I beg your pardon, ninth day. So of course the people are very scared to come out of their houses, to step out of their houses, because they fear, there is a sense of fear prevailing in them that what might happen next, because they have already seen a lot, they have already bear the brunt of the decades long conflict which has been reignited again. So there is a sense of fear prevailing in them, and as we walk along this beach, there seems to be the people who are also coming here for jogging. Very less people are actually now coming here for jogging, because earlier what used to happen also, we talked to a lot of people, took a lot of perspective into it, and the people also told us that this beach was full of people, full of joy. People used to celebrate life over there. But when we talk about celebrating life, then the people have also bear the brunt, because many people have been killed, and in that music festival also which was taking place, and the militants just came open fire at the very innocent civilians. So of course that part is also there, and that sense of fear is still prevailing in them, and as we are now standing in Tel Aviv, of course. So if I just may tell you about the latest updates also, then the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces army, has also conducted incursions into the Gaza Strip over the last 24 hours in efforts to find kidnapped Israelis also, who have been held as hostages, and of course for the possible ground assault which they have been planning, and explosions at the border fence with Lebanon has also been heard, because there was a very small encounter between Lebanon and the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, because in some way Hezbollah tried to infiltrate. So there is a possibility of the multi-front war also, which we have been continuously reporting here only on NewsX, and of course the rockets have been continuously been fired from both the sides, which perhaps makes the situation more precarious, more hostile, and of course for the people also, for the normal civilians also. So of course that is also there. We will also try to speak the local civilians also as to how they actually feel. So sir, we are from India, we are from a news channel, and the war situation is currently taking place in Israel. So what can you share about that?
I don't afraid for everybody. The Middle East, the Jewish country, is the best country for all the Jewish.
Yes.
Don't afraid, no Hezbollah, no Hezbollah, no Iran. I'm very safety. I have big in the army in Israel, very good army, very good people. It's very peace for all of the world, and have a good day.
Thanks a lot, sir. Be safe, sir, please. Sir, if you can just also share the situation about the war situation in Israel. I mean, it's been taking place. It's a decades-long conflict now. So what can you share about that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank India for their support, and I think that the situation for us is very difficult now, because we've suffered a great loss, and we hope that we'll be able to actually solve this problem once and for all with the Hamas. And to all the people in the world who are saying free Palestine, I have one message. I agree: free Palestine from Hamas, free Palestine from the corrupt Palestinian Authority. If we have a good government in the Palestinian Authority, a non-corrupt democratic government, we will make peace with them, and we'll be happy to make peace, even with this situation where we don't have much room for pain of other people. We still feel for the people the innocent people being hurt on the other side, and we'd really like to have peace. And I think the message to the world is, you have to support Israel and allow us to destroy the Hamas, not the people of Gaza. We have nothing against the people of Gaza. We have things against the people of Hamas, and I hope that we manage to win. We will win in the end, of course. Israel is a strong country, and we are confident. And if there's time, I'd like to send warm wishes to my friends in India, Som, Tanu, Sandhya, Sahab. Sahab was actually in Israel 2 days. He arrived 2 days before the war. Happily, he's safely back in India. And and thank you, India, for your support. So, from Israel, and I have to go to the sea to relax a bit because it's very difficult.
So thanks a lot for speaking to us. We hope that you remain safe, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. So of course, as you heard, the local civilians also, who barely any people are now coming to the beach. Of course, to let their hair down, to actually, just shift their focus from that, war points. Of course, that is also there, and people are, actually coming here to relax now. So of course, that is also there because they also want that the peace is established, very soon, and they're continuously saying that it's a decades-long conflict, and there are many places at which they actually don't feel safe. So of course, as we say this, we bring you all the latest stories live from Tel Aviv, only on NewsX. Stay tuned. In Israel, with camera person Dinesh Thakur, Akshit Gupta for NewsX.
In fact, Akshit Gupta is joining us now live from Tel Aviv to give us more updates on the situation on ground there. Akshit, what's the latest you can share with us today from the situation in Israel?
Well, yes, the conflict between Israel and Hamas has now entered its 9th day. And when we talk about Gaza, the situation there now is quite precarious, quite volatile, quite hostile right now, because the Israel Defense Forces have now amassed, their military tanks, military trucks, and of course a lot of soldiers also of the IDF are now there, because a coordinated attack from air, sea and land is being planned, because they have now ramped up their efforts for the most offensive ground assault in the Gaza. And of course, for that reason only, the directive was also issued to the people living on the northern side of the Gaza to flee that area, because ground assault is being planned. So of course, the continuous airstrikes are being carried out from both the sides, Israel also and Hamas also. But yes, Israel, the stance has now become more offensive, more aggressive. And yes, they have now started moving towards the northern side of the Gaza.
Have Israeli authorities ordered its forces to capture Gaza? Has that order been issued by the Israeli authorities yet?
As we are saying continuously, are all geared up to step up their efforts to enter the Gaza Strip, because as we said, a lot of military personnel and equipment has already been stationed at the border, and it's also expanding its aerial attack with an integrated and coordinated attack from air, sea and land. And of course, when we talk about the situation at Gaza also, so more than 3,000 people have already been killed, lost their lives in this deadliest conflict ever in the decades, and many people have also been left wounded. But as we know, 1.1 million people living on the northern side of Gaza, and tens of thousands of people have already started to move towards the southern side of the Gaza. But I must also tell you, a humanitarian crisis is also deepening in the Gaza, because it's under total blockade, total siege from Israel, because water supply, power supply, food supply has totally been cut, and UN also warned. United Nations saying that humanitarian crisis, is unfolding there. So of course that point has also to be kept in mind. And now some Gazans have heeded to the warnings of Israel, because the possible ground invasion is quite possible in the coming days now.
Right. Also, Akshit, I'd like to ask you about what the update is on the evacuation orders. Those were, of course, given yesterday by Gazans to evacuate a certain part of Gaza to move to the other side. That was issued by Israel. There was a safe passage as well given to them. Has that evacuation, how many people took heed to that call yesterday? And what is the current status you can share with us on those evacuations?
The Gazans have already been issued a directive, and yesterday also they were given a 6-hour window, which actually got over, and many people were actually still there on the northern side of the Gaza, which actually increased the risk factor for them, because Israeli Defense Forces have already said that the ground invasion is being planned, so the people living on the northern side of the Gaza should actually flee the area. And if I can just read out the details also for you, then 1 week after after the 7 days of the attack of by the Hamas, then Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also visited the affected sites, took stock of the situation, and he has also intensified the airstrikes and the rocket barrages also, which has perhaps now intensified the wars. But around 1 million people have already been displaced in Gaza, nearly half the population, because around 2 million people only live in the Gaza, and Israel has continued to call on Palestinians on the northern side to leave the area, and Egypt has also reportedly was set to also allow the limited access to those with American citizenship to leave through the Rafah crossing, but these negotiations were also held up over the issue of aid. But the State Department has also estimated that up to 600 Palestinian Americans still remain in Gaza, and of course the directive, as we said, movement directive has already been issued. Some people, tens of thousands of people have already started to move. Some are yet to move. But the larger question, the larger perspective is that Israel is all set for the ground assault.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.